Alright. Hey Chris. This is going to be easier to just explain in video than like put words over a video. It'll just be easier, less editing time. But this is Poe CS Skip. I'm going to refer to 5 different frames you could drop the fish on, and then for each of those frames they either have 1 or 2 pickup frames. And I'll go over those frames too. But you might want to like write these frames down or something. It'll be easier to remember. But I'll go over them. You could drop fish as soon as you enter the room, but you don't want to drop it too early. Otherwise, it gets hard to tell what frames you should pick the fish up on. So I only really drop on 3 of these 5 frames. But like if you get the other frames, it could also work. I'll show you. But alright, when you enter a room, you want to hold forward and then you want to pause buffer to one of these frames, preferably in one pause, so you're not wasting time. I'm going to do frame advance to show you all the frames. And then I'll do frame advance again to show you the pickup frames. But you enter a room. Okay, watch Link's left arm. This is the first frame where you can still see Link's left arm, just barely. You can see it, but just barely. That's going to be frame 1 for drop. The next frame, the first shield frame where you can't see Link's left arm, that's frame 2. And frame 2 and 3 kind of look alike, and the way to tell them apart is look at Link's right leg. See how on Link's left leg there's like the white part of his leggings? But on his right leg, you don't see anything. The next frame, you'll see white on the right part. That's how you tell it's like frame 3. So this is frame 2. There's no white. You don't see Link's left arm. You don't see any white part on the right leg. The next frame is frame 3. You see the white part on his right leg. Frame 4 is when you see Link's left arm again. And frame 5 is the next one. Those are the 5 drop frames. I'm gonna reset here. Do it again. Okay, so I'm gonna drop on like frame 2 or something. Alright, so let's pause buffer there. Or frame advance. That's frame 1. Now this is frame 2. I'm gonna drop here. And then for this part you wanna hold down. And then pause buffer. The first frame is when the bottle's not in Link's hand. That's like the first frame you could possibly get. Because I'm frame advancing, I can like pause earlier, but the first frame for dropping, or catching, I mean, is there. Where the bottle's not in Link's hand. That frame is pretty hard to get. I'm gonna refer to that as frame 1. The next frame is the first frame he turns around. That's frame 2. Now, notice Link's legs compared to the next frame. The next frame, they're like kind of bent. He's like running, or he has like an animation to him. This is frame 2, the first shield frame. Frame 3, you can see his legs are different. See how they're kind of moved? That's the second shield frame, frame 3. This is the first frame he turns back around, frame 4. And this is frame 5, the second one. Frame 4 and 5 look alike. So those are the 5 frames that I refer to them as in the first, for like dropping the fish and then catching it. Now, I'm going to PM you these numbers, but I'm just going to say them in the video. For frame drop 1, you can catch on frames 4 and 5, like the 2 frames he turns around. For frame drop 2, you can catch on frames 3 and 4. Frame drop 3, you can catch on frames 2 and 3. 4, for the drop frame, you catch on 1 and 2. And for 5, you only have 1 frame, the first frame. That one's hard to get. You don't want to get frame 5. But it's there, it works. Let me show you 2 of them to show you that they actually work. Let's reload. Alright, I'm going to show off frames 2 and 4. And then you can just see You could do the other ones, test them yourself, but I'll do the second drop frame, which is going to be the first frame you don't see Link's left arm, and then catching it, and then frame 4. This is frame 1, you can still see Link's left hand. This is frame 2, this is one I'm going to drop on. Holding down during this part. Hold down until you catch the fish. Now for frame 2 drop, right, this is frame 1. Frame 2 drop, you catch on 3 and 4. So this is 1, 2, 3. This one works, but I'm going to do the next one, 4. This trick has like 2 frames for everything but 1. So this frame works and this one does. Alright, so there's that. Alright, let's reload. Alright, so now I'm going to drop on frame 4, and then I'm going to catch frame 1 and 2. Frame 4, that's frame -1, or 0. That's frame 1, 2, 3. 4 is when you see Link's left arm again. I'm going to drop on this frame. Then I'm holding down for this part. That's the first frame right there. The bottle goes away, and Link's just standing there. For frame 4 drop, you catch on frame 1 and 2. So this is the first frame that works. This will work. And then frame 2 is the next one. That will also work. And there it is. You just need to remember the frames. So for me personally, I always go for frames 2 or 3. The frames where you don't see Link's hand. That's what I do personally. They're just easier to tell the frames. But you can do whatever you want. Like, all those work, and you can even drop the fish earlier. You just need to catch it later. Like, there's always a set number of frames in between dropping and catching. It's just offset by whatever frame you drop on. So, a little bit complicated, but once you learn the frames, it's not bad at all. So I'm gonna give the numbers to you and what they correspond to, but so like you could write them down in your notebook or whatever to like refer to during the run. But yeah, it's not that bad. Never YOLO this. You don't need to YOLO it. The only time you should ever fail this is if you buffer too much. You should never fail it because you are not sure. It's a 100% consistent trick. You're never gonna get fish trolled because you hold down when you catch the fish. You're not just like standing still and catching the fish, you're holding down. That's why Link turns around and turns back. So you're never gonna get fish trolled. It's a really consistent trick and it has 2 frames. There we go.